What is up, team? Welcome to another full breakdown of today's workout. So, not really a body part theme today, kind of a lot going on. Full body workout, not really a specific strength portion either. So, just getting a lot of reps in, and that's how we're going to get our time under tension today. So to kick things off, we're going to do 3 rounds of some basic movements. We're going to kick things off with 10 jumping jacks. Right? You guys know this one, I won't over talk it. Then we're gonna go 10 air squats. So hips back and down, heels are about shoulder width apart, knees stay out, chest stays up. Then we're gonna do 5 inchworm push-ups. So I do want the push-up on this inchworm today. So straight legs, we are gonna inch our hands forward, actually execute a push-up. Inch our hands back, and then let's go ahead and stand after each rep. Now, if you need to drop those knees for a kneeling push-up, that is of course fair game, but then still do the inchworm part with straight legs. Then we're gonna do 25 single unders. So just jumping rope, doing single unders, I'm demoing without a rope. So for those of you without a jump rope, you can just simulate the arm motion, right? So we should have our elbows in. The motion's coming from like the elbows and the wrists, kind of those 2 things only. It should not be from the shoulders. So we're just gonna kind of simulate this. So 25 single unders. So 3 rounds of all that, 10 jumping jacks, 10 air squats, 5 inchworms with a push-up, and 25 single unders. Then we're gonna go right into our first metcon. We actually have 2 metcons firing today. So the first one is a 21-15-9 routine. So you're gonna do 21 of everything, 15 of everything, and then 9 of everything, and then it's over. So we've got 4 movements. We've got jump squats, push-ups, mountain climbers, and sit-ups. So let's go over those movements real quick. So your jump squat, we're just taking your normal air squat, guys. So again, heels are shoulder width apart, feet are turned out just slightly, getting below parallel, and then I'm getting full extension at the top. That's my normal air squat. So for the jump squat, we want to hit that depth standard, but then we just want to jump at the top. So I'm just stringing these together nice and fluid. What I'm not doing is an air squat and then a jump separately. We want to merge those 2 moves together. So that's your jump squat. Then of course we've got your push-up, right? So from the toes ideally, chest hits the floor with a nice straight line, elbows are in nice and tight before pressing up to full extension. It could also be done from the knees. So that's your push-up. After that, we've got mountain climbers. So the reps today are 21, 15, and 9. For the mountain climber, that is gonna be per leg. So 21 per leg, 15 per leg, 9 per leg. So I'm at the top of my push-up position. And then of course I need to kind of jump my knee through my arms here and then extend the leg fully behind me. And then our last move is just a plain Jane sit-up. So I am gonna start with my shoulder blades in contact with the floor, and then as I come up, I want my spine to go beyond 90 degrees. What we don't want is just something like this, where I'm not meeting that 90-degree standard. So make sure you are sitting forward of 90 degrees. So basically as fast as you can, 21 of everything, then 15 of everything, then 9 of everything. And then take a little breather, and then we move on to our second metcon. You'll want to warm up on some of these movements because these are now loaded movements. What we just did was all body weight stuff. This next one, we're going to be picking up some weight, so warm into this as needed. I can do pretty much this entire workout with any of these implements that you see here. I could also do this workout with a barbell. So I've got a gel ball, I've got a plate, I've got a pair of dumbbells, maybe a single dumbbell. So use what you've got for this, guys. I'll demo a few things a few different ways. So here's the workout ahead of you. 18 minutes on the clock. We're gonna do as many rounds as possible of the following. We're gonna do a 400-meter run, or that could be a 400-meter row, or a certain length of time on the bike, depending on what gear you've got. Then we're gonna do 30 ground to overhead. So that's gonna be picking an object up from the ground and getting it overhead. So that's gonna vary depending on your implements. We're gonna do 20 overhead lunges. So I'm gonna say let's step back and down. Again, I'm assuming you guys don't have a whole lot of space at home, so we can't do walking lunges across the gym. So we're just gonna step back and down holding an implement overhead. And then we're gonna do 10 goblet squats. So we've got a weight held here in the front some way, somehow, to cycle through some good squats. So 400-meter run or row, that kind of takes care of itself, right? So then 30 ground to overhead. If I was to do this with a gel ball, This would look something like this. So I would be setting up with the object right between my feet, do a nice strong hip drive to bring this up to my chest and shoulders, and then you could dip, drive, and press to full extension overhead. So the load on this, guys, today is meant to be light and fast. 30 repetitions, you should almost be able to do unbroken, just non-stop. So if I was using a light enough gel ball, I would actually keep possession of this to bring it back down the whole time. Now with the plate, it's gonna look very similar. So what I would do here is hold the plate vertically like this. So you're gonna tap just the rim of the plate to the ground between your feet, but then the rest is very similar to that ball, but I might skip the dip drive portion from my chest and just press this out straight overhead. So that's your ground overhead with the plate. And then we can do the same thing with dumbbells, guys, right? So I could tap these to the floor and then kind of press these overhead. Depending on the weight, we could do a little dip drive here as needed. So 30 GTOs. Then our next move, 20 overhead lunges. So that's 20 total, 10 per leg. So let's say I've got a plate. I'm just gonna lock this out, overhead position, and then I can step back and down with my knee gently tapping the ground. But I'm definitely thinking about pressing up and locking those arms the whole time. Let's say I've got dumbbells, but the pair of them are too heavy to hold overhead separately. Well, maybe I just hold one dumbbell like so, and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna do 20 overhead lunges like that. You could do a single arm overhead lunge, maybe do 10 on one side, switch arms, do 10 on the other. It's another option. If you had a barbell, obviously holding the barbell. So a bunch of options there. Then 10 goblet squats. So we're back to, let's say, a single dumbbell. I'm gonna hold this at my chest nice and tight, sit back and down to my full squat. Obviously I could do that with 2 weights, maybe switching it to be just a front rack if I wanted to go a little bit heavier. It's hard to hold goblet style with 2 dumbbells. Obviously could do the same thing with a gel ball, right? Holding that up front. So, bunch of variety there. Use what you've got, guys. 18 minutes, as many rounds as possible, 400-meter run, 30 ground to overhead, 20 overhead lunges, and 10 weighted squats. Then, of course, we'll take a breather, and then we're cashing out with a little core work. So, same thing, guys. Different implements can be in play here. We're basically gonna do leg lifts. So your conventional leg lift looks something like this. We're gonna put a Tabata timer on. We're gonna do leg lifts, but I want a weight held out overhead, and I want you to hold a crunch. So notice I'm holding this crunch position, my shoulders are way off the ground, and I'm pressing this weight up in the air, so my abs are working to hold this crunch. And while holding that crunch, I'm gonna do as many leg lifts as I can in each 20-second interval. So 20 seconds on, 10 seconds to rest, and repeat. And again, guys, I don't care what the load is here, go as heavy as you want to, and I don't care what the, which object it is for the load either. So I'm holding that crunch, and then I'm doing leg lifts. Okay, so 8 sets of 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, max reps leg lifts. So that should be a good workout, guys. It should get a good little sweat session going, burn quite a few calories, get that metabolism revved up, and hopefully that inspires you to eat clean the rest of the day. And as always, guys, stay safe out there, hit it hard. We'll see you next time.